Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a tropical update for the Atlantic and the Eastern Pacific. And let's just get started. So, with the 8 p.m. tropical update from the National Hurricane Center pulled up here, let's start with this one. Disturbance 1, 80% chance of formation for the next 2 and 5 days. And it says, data from an Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunter earlier this afternoon indicated that the circulation associated with an area of low pressure located a couple hundred miles east of the northern Leeward Islands has become better defined today, and the plane reported that the surface pressures have fallen a bit. If the showers and thunderstorms associated with the low persist through the evening, this system could become a tropical storm or a tropical depression or a tropical storm as early as tonight. So maybe in the next couple hours we'll see this. And it's moving west-northwestward at about 10 miles an hour. It could bring some heavy rains to some of the islands here and Puerto Rico, and they should monitor the system in those areas. Let's go to Danielle now. With 75 miles an hour, it's moving. It's stationary right now. Literally, it's stationary. It's not moving at all. It's expected to get up to 85 miles an hour. And now let's go to the Eastern Pacific, where we have this disturbance 1, 48%, 48 hours is the high 70% chance of formation, and the next 5 days is the high 90% chance of formation. A tropical depression will likely form this weekend, and there should be people who are watching this in southern and southwestern Mexico. They should monitor the progress of the system. Dave, you're here. We have, it's currently 45 miles an hour, and tropical storm watches are in effect for parts of the Baja California Sur. There could be locally heavy rainfall and flooding, and tropical storm conditions are possible through Saturday. But it doesn't really look like we'll get any sustained tropical storm force winds. Next, let's look at the current storm. So let's look at Hurricane Daniel. Pretty good satellite imagery. Now, if we look here, it's really just about the turning out to sea. Model intensity guidance does show it would be staying Cat 1. Some show Cat 2, but I think it should stay a Category 1 hurricane. Most show around a moderate Category 1. 91L, Invest 91L. A lot are showing a tropical storm, and most of those go to Category 1. Some even go to a Category 2, and one even shows a Category 3. Spaghetti models show it getting close to the Leeward Islands and possibly Dominican, as far as Dominican Republic, but that's unlikely. It's at most it'll probably get to Puerto Rico possibly, but probably not. It'll just turn out to sea around this area. No threat to the United States. And there is some possible threat for Bermuda, but I do not think so. Here is the let's look at the GEFS tracks. Now to look at the by the way, we're only focusing on the Atlantic and Eastern Pacific today. Anyway, if we go to Xavier, it's expected to go a little stronger possibly, but then weaken down to a tropical depression around 24 to 36 hours and getting close to the Baja California Sur, but then going out to the Baja California Sur, however you pronounce it. 93E, spaghetti models pretty much all show them hitting land. So we definitely got to watch out, especially the Baja California Sur, and a lot show Category 1, some show Category 2, some show Category 3, and even some show Category 4. So definitely something to watch out for. If we go to the models here and we go to the Western Atlantic, the North Atlantic, we do see we have 985 millibars right now, Danielle, but then it goes out to sea, and then we start to see the other system forming, 91L, getting pretty strong, possibly around 91L becoming possibly a hurricane. If we look at the 10-meter winds, we do see around Hurricane 4 sustained winds on Danielle, possibly up to Category 2 in this run. And then here we see around potentially Category 2 hurricane force winds. significant wave heights. We are seeing around 21-foot waves in Danielle right now. And this shows it going up to 30, 40 as it goes up more north, and this potentially up to 40 feet in this run. If we go to the Eastern Pacific, we do see a 993 millibar Xavier here. And then we see the other system forming and going north, hitting Baja California third, and then going into the U.S. But, of course, by the U.S., it'll really just be rain. We're really going to focus on Mexico here. 10M winds, we're seeing around a little bit of tropical storm force winds in Xavier, but not that much. This one, we're seeing major hurricane force sustained winds, Category 3, even when it's hitting land. Even inland, we're seeing Category 3 sustained, and even worse on the coast. If we look at the 850 MB, because this is hitting land, Xavier is getting some strong wind gusts to Baja California Sur, but especially the 93E, which gives potentially Category 3 to 4 hurricane wind gusts, and Category 2 to 3 sustained based on runs. If we go to 20, total accumulated precip, because it's close enough to use that, we're seeing around potentially maybe 1.5 inches of rain on the Baja California third for the Xavier, and then we're seeing up to potentially 12 to 20, maybe possibly isolated amount of over 20 on the Baja California third, and rain for inches, and then possibly around 7 to 10, maybe isolated amounts up to 12 inches on Mexico, according to this run. Significant wave height. Let's go back to our 0. We do see around potentially around 13 foot waves, and then if we go a little forward, it gets up to potentially isolated amount of 21-foot waves, not on the coast though. But then we see 93E starting to strengthen 21-foot waves on the coast, and then here in the Baja California Sur, we're seeing up to 30. We're seeing up to 45 potentially isolated amounts waves out on sea, widespread 40 to 30 foot waves on sea. On the coast, we're seeing 30 to 35 foot waves. It gets a little less on the coast, but still very strong. But of course, those waves out in the ocean will be bad too for any marine people. But I would not expect anyone to be out there. Now, if we go to the HWRF and we go to Danielle, we're seeing around 986. And then down to 982, and then it shows it getting down to around 968, 966, and then at this point it's just very high up. 10M winds of around, so currently it shows it around 65 knot sustained winds. It keeps going and it gets it up to around 84 knot winds. I do not think it will get that strong, and then of course the wind field gets very big as it goes very high. Not wind gust field, because this isn't hitting land. If we look at 91L, what HWRF expects us to do is gets down to 173 in the run, but of course it doesn't go that far out, and it gets up to tropical storm force winds sustained. And also, I'm not looking at the HMON because it's not really that reliable. HWRFP is basically just HWRF, but more zoomed out, but we don't really need that. These are still in its beta, and I do not trust them yet. CMC pretty much shows nothing. GFS I already showed you, so I'm only going to be showing the HWRF because untrustable, just HWRF more zoomed out, and these are in beta, so we don't want to use them just yet. Maybe in like a couple months. But anyway, if we go to Xavier, here we see HWRF currently shows it around 997, and it just kills it quickly. If we look at the 10M winds, we see tropical storm force mainly off the coast, but isolated amounts on the coast, though I think the HWRF is showing it too close to the coast. I don't think it'll be that close. We'll show 850 MB because it's affecting land a little, possibly some tropical storm force wind gust on the coast here. And if we go to, and by the way, sorry if I'm going a little too fast. I believe I'm going at a good speed just to get you guys the points quickly, but I think I'm explaining it enough. There's not a lot to explain, but I believe I'm getting you guys the points quickly, but I'm explaining it to you. Hopefully enough. Anyway, Invest 93E, much stronger. We see in around 45 hours, 993, and it goes down to 953. Does not hit the coast just yet, but we're seeing around 10 M winds. It gets up to 40. It gets around a tropical storm, according to HWRF, in around 15 to 18 hours, or at least sustained winds. Maybe the circulation won't be there yet, and it gets it up so far to around 90 knots, and then it weakens, and it looks like to be strengthening again around this point, and it has not hit land yet. 50 MB, of course, very strong wind field up to 118 knot wind gusts. If we look at the analysis tools, and we're going to look at the ENSO, it's going back down. It's currently negative 0.947. If we go to the North Atlantic temperatures, we'll see the Invest 91L is around 29 degrees Celsius, and it's going to move into more 29 degrees Celsius, but possibly some isolated 30 Celsius. Danielle's around 28, 27 degrees Celsius, but of course it's going to get much colder as it goes more north. And if we look at the Eastern Pacific, we're seeing Xavier is about 30 Celsius right now, but of course it's going to get, even though the sea surface temperatures will be good, it's going to get around more unfavorable conditions. So it's around 29, 28, 27 degrees Celsius right now. The other Invest 93 is around 30. I set them out to 31 degrees Celsius, and it's going to stay like that up until landfall. But at landfall, it might get into the 28s and 29s. Or maybe 27, depending on where it landfalls. And if we look at, we can see a clear La Nina, which will gradually decrease through the winter. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tropical update, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Have a great night, and hopefully you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow night. Bye, guys.